My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is July 20th, 2023. It is 12:35 a.m. PM in the afternoon. I finished edit my earlier recording, and this is video number 2. And I have some time. I felt like I had so many other things to do now that I have the computer all to myself for today, and I can't remember what they are. Oh, I was supposed to edit something for our parts of Pew service. Yeah, there's a video I'm supposed to edit. Okay, now I remember. So I was like, okay, I can't remember what I was supposed to do, so I have some stuff that I grabbed from Twitter, so I might as well record them. Okay, so my subscriber went up 3008, and this is my second video that came out today. Okay, and my revenue still remain around 300 plus. My analytic, okay, 341.90. That's it. Okay, so let's go on Twitter. Alright, so lately I've been seeing a lot of tweet from this celebrity. I'm starting to concern about it. I'm starting to have little concern about it, but I don't want to out anybody, but my radar been up about that account, and it seems like, let me not say what I think, because something doesn't seem right with this account. It may seem like a Sussex squad because I follow her, and occasionally I share some of their tweets, and I even share some of I don't know, I'm saying her, I don't know if it's a her, the links of the particular article. They will take article from Daily Mail and, you know, the tabloid paper, the ones that the squad don't want to click on, and then she will sort of, again, I'm saying she, I don't know if it's a she, that particular account will sort of summarize the whatever Daily Mail have said, and then put some quotes from the tabloid. And lately something raised my radar, but I'm not 100% sure. It could be another different tactic if we don't read the article, but at least we could click on these. Okay, so let me leave that alone. Let's go with my first tweet. Okay, so this is Mic Wright. Hopefully some of you remember my a little bit debacle with him, and then once he told me he's from ByLine, I was like, oh my god. And I was following him, and I completely forgot. I had my little suspicion, similar to my suspicion with that other account that I was just talking about, but he came out, he addressed it, and I was aware of ByLine Times sort of work, journalistic work before, so I approve him right away. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Okay, but anyway, so this is his tweet. Quote, "The public know we have good hearts," end quote. "No, you don't. You're arguing for continuing shady rivers, hungry kids, and an environment that continues to treat landlords like living gods." Okay, so these are some of the things I usually highlight on my channel. So there he is talking about it. Okay, some of the things that I raised, and there he is, he's raising them. And this is why I said ByLine is the one of the good source of information in the UK that keeping the institution, that keeping, I guess, the regular folks somewhat informed, or democracy alive, I could say. I was gonna say people alive, but not really, but I could say democracy alive. So these are the things I sometimes raise: shady waters, hungry kids, and things like that. So let's listen. I didn't listen to the video he shared, but let's listen.
developing the water industry, which many people would say has totally failed, in private ownership.
I was canvassing in one of the by-elections yesterday. A man who hadn't voted for us for the last 2 elections said he was coming back to Labour. I asked him why. He said, all that stuff you promised last time, it just wasn't credible. You're back on the right track. The public know we have good hearts. They want to know we have wise heads. And the reason winning is important is we cannot take a single child out of poverty if we're not in government. We can't tackle climate change. We can't put the NHS or social care back on track. You know, dreams without power, ideals without power is just dreaming. I don't just want to dream.
The water.
You know, the thing is that with, not just in the UK, okay, it's almost everywhere. They have the good idea to make the thing work, but when they realize they could packet the things individually, put things in their own pocket, this is where everything went haywire. Okay, a lot of the things that they had were working. I don't know, I really don't know, but I agree with Mick right there. Okay, the public knows we have good heart. No, we don't, because as soon as you get the power that you wanted, and you completely forget about the people, and then you give them another empty promise again for next time they go vote. Okay, so I agree with Mick right here. Harsh but fair. Carve that in my gravestone. Okay, there's me here. Okay, I've always said it's ByLine Investigate and few other journals that are holding the UK above waters and by a string for democracy. The rest are helping the rest are helping to sink the UK down into the ditch. I truly respect all of the ByLine journals for fighting a huge fight when they are standing for morals, and I can't write anymore and more. Okay, I think it was Mick who liked it. Okay, the public voted, or rather 44% of turnout, for Conservative because they saw the wise head were involved and not because there was a promise to get Brexit done. Okay, so what happened now? So what's happening now? And of course, Liz, we know that all voters have brilliant minds and know exactly how macroeconomics work and how crucial public services and the welfare states are in terms of supporting the wider economy. Okay, shortlisted annual sarcasm award. But anyway, the only thing I could say for the Brits, I cannot really speak for them, but I could only share my opinion on things that I'm seeing. When it's time for you to vote, just look at your everyday life. How is your life going? Was it better than a couple months before? Is it getting better now? So this is the way you have to vote. Alright, so let me leave that alone and let's go to the next tweet. Okay, so there's this here, and I was starting to wonder about this. Is the one of the tweets that started getting me wonder about it, because remember right now Dan Wooten should be the talk of town, but she's talking about that. Obviously it's her account, she could do whatever she wants. Again, I keep on saying she, I do not know if it's a she. Okay, Prince William will spend 2 days in New York City this September, just after Invictus. Okay, I saw it on my phone by, I think, Google, but I ignore it. I didn't share it, I didn't mention it. But since this is here and I was reading some of the comments and I thought I share it, that's the only reason. Okay, why can't they leave us alone? Okay, he's going without Kate. There's a laugh. Okay, I love the responses on the celebrity article. This is my favorite so far. Okay, wish he will continue to stay home. This reeks of desperation, like people in America will forget the Invictus games or Prince Harry just because Peggy comes to New York City. There's the rolling eye. As an American, I can say I'm sick of the British royal family. Start going to Commonwealth countries and leave us alone. We are happy with the Sussexes, and the British royal family just represent racist hate, unfathomable greed, and pure arrogance. We have enough of those people here already. We don't need more from a country we fought to be freed of centuries ago. Alright, I think that was the one that got me, and I was like, let me share it. Okay, said there's this here. That was, I think, last year when Harry made the speech to the UN. Okay, I'm not gonna click to celebrities' articles anymore. Something doesn't seem right to me. So what is he gonna do in 2 days in New York? Alright, probably doing the same thing that Harry did. All right, trying to compete with this. All right, Prince Harry urges world to fight for better future in face of war. And okay, Prince Harry has delivered an emotional speech to the United Nations, urging people across a divided world to reclaim their democracies. There's that. Okay, so what is that? Okay, there's this. No one cares. Imagine you are the future king and all your focus is on competing with your spare, non-working royal younger brother who left everything behind and walked away. That a future king thinks this is the only reason of being. Okay, if Charles III, maybe it's my algorithm, but all I see is William and Kate making moves, going places, etc. It's interesting. And then nonsense to write in their annual report that they traveled to the US to do what? I don't know. Okay, Mr. Earthshot flying to New York instead of hosting the summit in London. Okay, so what is that? I don't know what he's doing. And I'm, like I said, I'm not gonna click on the thing, on the article. Okay, Zoom meeting anyone? It was good enough for last year's winner. Is he gonna do? No, the thing was in December. I don't know. Okay, he cost Boston taxpayers $175,000 when he showed up. New Yorkers aren't going to be too pleased with him mucking up traffic and spending their money. We New Yorkers know how to give him a well-deserved welcome. Okay, I can't wait to see when he comes up. Who's gonna greet him wherever he's gonna go? Okay, now y'all know good and damn well why he's coming back to America, to get one up on Prince Harry's and Princess Meghan. And all right, so let's go to the next tweet. Oops, did I copy it? There's that. Okay, then I started seeing some of the squad putting this: Prince William will never have that bond, which makes him upset for sure. There's Harry hanging with at that time that was Vice President Biden. And there's Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady, current First Lady, by the way. Okay, and there's this one here. There's with President Obama, former president. And I believe this is Trudeau, Prime Minister of Canada. Okay, former First Lady, Obama. And that's Rihanna. Look at all the smile. Okay, let's see here. There's the heart. Prince of Wales is a dude who has an incredible inferiority complex and is a narcissist. When in public, his tight jaw are quite noticeable. Since he can't show emotion, he bursts out in rage as it's known of him. His kids barely laugh on pics. I'm saying this as in observing kids in general. Okay, I hereby confirm the diagnosis: inferiority complex and narcissism. All right, that's commercial. Let's go to the next one. All right, so when I was seeing so many things from celebrity and I posted this, I think that was the one. Yeah. No, I grabbed it. Yeah, what's that? I think I put it anyway. Comment: news of William hacking payout remind us what kind of operation Rupert Murdoch runs. This is Brian Capecourt, another trusted journalist in the UK. All right, and he works with ByLine. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, news of Williams hacking payout remind us what kind of operation Rupert Murdoch runs, by Brian Capecourt, April 25th, 2023. Okay, what a week for Rupert Murdoch. 7 days ago, his US Fox News organization paid $787.5 million to settle a libel claim, and now we learned that his UK company paid a very large sum to the heir to the British throne to settle a phone hacking claim. That Prince William's phone had been hacked by the News of the World was well known, but while many suspected there might have been a financial settlement that was never announced or confirmed, but the Murdoch organization clearly prefer it that way. Now that the cover is blown, and once again we have headlines evidence of the kind of journalistic operation that is run by the 92-year-old billionaire, it does dread things, it covers them up, and when cornered, it buys its way out. Very well said. All right, where did it start? Okay, the 92-year-old billionaire, it does dreadful things, it covers them up, and when cornered, it buys its way out. Wow. I could just imagine seeing him being cornered, literally in the corner, and then he doesn't know how to get out of it. He just give them the money so he could go. Yeah. In the US, Murdoch journalistic told lies that assisted an attempt to coup d'etat, and the UK Murdoch journalists illegally and for well over a decade tapped into the mobile voicemail of everyone who was in the news, up to and including very senior members of the royal family. You know what just came to mind here? Like they tried to do a coup d'etat in the US, and in the UK they did it already. They already did it. This is why some of the nonsense that's going on is accepted. They already did it. Wow. Anyway, it's an ugly picture lending weight to the view that Murdoch is more like a mafia boss than a person who is, and the legal phrase fit and proper to oversee the news media organization. And if Prince William's financial settlement has finally become public now, 3 years on, Murdoch has only his own subordinates to blame, for it was lawyers acting for his UK daily The Sun who put Prince Harry in a position where the prince's lawyers say he had no choice but to reveal it. Okay, I wish I had come across this when I was reading the phone hacking thing, the tweets from Rebecca Brooke, I believe, when Harry was giving his witness statement. This is around that time. Okay, that's Hugh Grant. Okay, fighting off claims by Prince Harry. Oh, and the other thing too, with this paragraph, where it's saying that here, if they had, another word, if they had played their card right, meaning Rupert Murdoch and his lawyers, okay, this will still stay private. Nobody will know they pay anybody. But because they make so much nonsense, they push Harry to reveal it. Now Harry is fighting for his right now, so he has to do what he has to do. But he was willing to keep his mouth shut, but these people push him to the brink where he has to reveal it. Okay, so that's what I have to say about this paragraph. Fighting off claims by Prince Harry and the actor Hugh Grant that the Sun hacked their phones, just as the News of the World had done, the paper went to court in London today to argue, among other things, that the two men's claims have been made too late and are legally out of time. And I discussed this before, especially for the Harry spot, not Hugh Grant spot, but for Harry spot, because Harry tried to ask his, wanted to do it a while back. The Queen had okayed it, but Charles prevent Harry from doing it. Okay, they were killing time, so he had no choice. And remember, as of now, even though I'm reading this article a couple months later, okay, and still now we have not get the result of what the judge said. If the trial, the phone hacking trial, will move forward. I think about 100 plus people, claimant, I would say, did their testimony, gave their argument. Now it's up to the judge to decide if this will move forward. Okay, so I just want to point this out, because right now as I'm reading it, I'm like in the middle of it, from the time they did their argument, and then to the time where the judge is still looking into it, okay, to see if it will go to trial. Okay, as a result, his lawyers said Prince Harry had no choice but to open a can of worms relating to the royal family and the Murdoch cooperation, of which his brother Prince William 2020 settlement represent just one worm, albeit a fat one. Prince Harry's lawyer had previously referred in court document to a secret arrangement between the palace and the Murdoch management, but today's revelation went further, describing a deal under which the royal agreed to delay making claims in exchange for being spared embarrassment. The documents also cited years of meetings and correspondence between very senior figures on both sides. Robert Thompson, CEO of Murdoch Global Operation News Corp, met Sir Christopher Gate. Remember this guy? This is the guy that used to represent the Queen, and I think he used to be the Queen's private secretary. Okay, and then Charles removed him Remember that from the security issues, that security debacles that Harry is still dealing with the palace. Okay, it's through that, from reading different articles, and I get to know about Christopher Gate. Okay, so he used to be the Queen's private secretary, and then Charles and Andrew put heads together and remove him and put Young. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is who this person is, the former secretary for the Queen, and then the Charles remove him. Okay. Robert Thompson, CEO of Murdoch Global Operation News Corp, met Sir Christopher Gate, private secretary to Queen Elizabeth, to discuss the deal. Rebecca Brooks, CEO of Murdoch's News UK, was also involved in exchanges, while according to Prince Harry's case document, the whole arrangement was authorized by the late Queen herself. Okay, so this I could understand. Oh my God, 1 and 1 equal 2. This is probably one of the main reasons. There was other reason as well, because Andrew had his issue with Epstein and all of that, and Gates will not let Andrew do certain things because that will embarrass the institution. Okay, this might be the other part why Charles put head with what's the other one, with Andrew, because they may deal with Murdoch, and then they know that the Queen had okayed it. So because of that, they removed Gates. Oh my God. What? That's my humble opinion on that. My goodness. Okay, so there's that. And then the document that I read already, where Charles had removed him, and they did say Charles removed Gates because, and they put Young because Young was easier to control, and he will do whatever Charles say. So that's what it is. But this guy, Christopher Gate, was looking out for the Queen's best interest and the institution. Okay, so keep that in mind. You could go back to some of my old videos when I talk about that. Okay, so this might be the reason why Charles decided to put heads with the other brother to remove him. Each one of them had their own reason. For Charles was because of Murdoch. For the other brother was because of Epstein kind of thing. Okay, so let's continue. This relationship between the palace and the news organization that had admitted large-scale phone hacking appears to have been one that both sides prefer to keep confidential. Okay, in its defense, lawyers for the Sun don't acknowledge any special arrangement and will argue in court that Prince Harry could have made a claim much earlier under a confidential settlement scheme set up by the Murdoch Company that was open to anyone with a case. But remember, Harry is a senior member, okay, let's keep that in mind, was a senior member in the royal family. But does Harry's voice have any say on anything or any decision the top players, the heirs, like for instance the Queen, Charles and William, okay, their voices come before Harry. Meanwhile, Harry was talking to the Queen and telling the Queen his concern. And this again, I was right again. Harry was voice of reasoning over there. Okay, if you look back on PYTE, where I say Harry was voice of reasoning, he was too close to all of decision makers, so they had to get him out of there whatever way they can, because the Queen agreed with Harry and told Harry he could sue. And then you had Gates, who was looking out for the best interests of the institution. So all of this, you can understand why the Queen had okayed it. You understand what I mean? The secretary and Harry was giving the Queen good advice. Now comes Charles and the other brother, Andrew, decided to put heads together and said, Christopher Gates gotta go. So therefore, they put that other guy, and ever since the other guy, Young, what's his first name? I forgot his first name. Young come into play. You could see in some pictures where he's sitting behind the Queen and Meghan when they went out together for the first time or something like that. You could see Young behind there. And one of the videos I pointed it out. And I said, there he is in the back. So he was the eyes and ears for Charles. Anything that happens with the Queen's household, they will know and then undermine the Queen. This is why all the debacle with the Queen and Harry come into play. Ever since Young, they put Young over there, they went in to mess up things. Only people who's been listening to all of my podcasts will understand what I'm talking about here. That goes way back from Pt2, from the beginning of the case. I brought up all sort of the Five Eyes, Ravik. I bring all of these into that conversation. Okay, so now a year later, plus couple months later, and there I'm plugging everything together. Okay, so there's this here. Did I finish with that paragraph? Let's read it again. Okay, this relationship between the palace and a news organization that had admitted large-scale phone hacking appears to have been one that both sides prefer to keep confidential. And its defense lawyers for the Sun don't acknowledge any special arrangement and will argue in court that Prince Harry could have made a claim much earlier under a confidential settlement scheme set up by Murdoch Company that was open to anyone with a case. Okay, I addressed that. Harry didn't have a say. He could only give advice to the Queen. And let's not forget, okay, let's add to it. This is where I will start so I don't forget. Let's not forget, Harry was one of the, I believe, 5 people who could speak on behalf of the Queen if something were to happen to her. I raised that also in Pt2. So Harry was in position to give the Queen good advice. And then with Harry's good advice to the Queen and Christopher Gates' advice, and I could understand where the Queen could decide and say, yes, okay, I agree with you. You could sue them. Okay? But the Charles, who have special deal with the tabloid, okay, decide to mess that up by removing Gates, and ever since things went haywire. So yes, Harry was in position to advise the Queen. Okay, and this is why when during the Invictus last year, and he was doing an interview with Hoda, I believe, and then one of his main concern was who was around the Queen. So he was worrying about that.
How did it feel being back? Being with her.
Being with her, it was great. It was just so nice to see her. You know, she's on great form. She's always got a great sense of humour with me, and I'm just making sure that she's, you know, protected and got the right people around.
Well,
her.
you
Okay, that she has good, secure people around her. Okay, so let's continue. All right, the debate in court over the next 3 days before Mr. Justice Fancourt is more general and requires the Sun's lawyer to engage in an exercise many will consider perverse. They have begun arguing that it should have been obvious years ago to both claimants. And remember, these people don't play fair. I mean, there's the timing ticking for Harry to sue it. Meanwhile, the brother went behind the other brother went behind Harry's back and get his payment. Okay, and then you have the father who's wasting time. All of that were all against Harry. And then meanwhile, time is ticking. Okay. The Prince and Grant, that's you, Grant, that they might have had a hacking case against the Sun, and to make that point, they are trying to pile up evidence against their own client going back to 2006. Since the Sun denies all phone hacking, despite having paid settlement to a number of people who have sued, if the present blacking bid fail and the case goes to trial, okay, this is the thing, we don't have that yet. Pencil in for January 2024, counsel for the Sun will then presumably find themselves arguing something close to the opposite. Okay, so he's giving us a warning. If it goes to trial, what the Sun, they don't have a case. Now, this is where it could have been bad for Harry. If William gave him, you know, sometimes when people have good pile pile of money, they tend to be greedy. And maybe he made a mistake there for not giving Harry part of his fair share of that lump sum that the son did. Or maybe he did. All this is my humble opinion, okay? Obviously, I will never know, okay? So if Harry had accepted his portion from William, then that would be a problem for Harry moving forward. If you have your money already, so why are you suing? So if William did not give him his fair share, okay, so Harry could do whatever. But if William also tried to give Harry his fair share, but Harry rejected, and then there's that, Harry could move forward. The whole point is Harry never took part of it. Okay, so we will know if it goes to trial. We will know everything. So let's go back to Twitter, all right, and read some of the comments. I can't believe I didn't see this article. It was a couple months ago. Okay, rotten and corrupt to the core. Where is the transparency? It is not only a payout, but also include bribery to silence Harry. William and Murdoch belongs in the same pile of trash. Oh my God, those people. Okay, Queen Elizabeth II personally threatened Rupert Murdoch's media company with legal proceedings over phone hacking, only for her effort to be undermined by then Prince Charles. You see, that's the thing that I was saying. Okay, then, okay, let's start all over. Okay, undermined by the then Prince Charles, the High Court has heard. Prince Harry said his father intervened because he wanted to ensure the son supported his accession to the throne and Camilla's role as queen consort, and had a specific long-term strategy to keep the media on side for when the time came. I mean, I'm telling you, sometimes I think Camilla is like one of those mold they put in there. Okay, holy shit. So the Windsors made a secret deal with Rupert Murdoch and his organization in 2012 following the Levison inquiry. Oh, this is news to me. That's from The Guardian. This is news to me about the Levison inquiry. Oh, there's a video. I don't know where it is because it's embedded in one of those tweet videos. There's a video that I had where they were asking during the Levison inquiry, and they were starting to get really deep into the conversation. They were asking Rebecca, I think it was Rebecca Brooke, I could be wrong, that particular journalist, as they keep on asking questions, and somebody who I guess who has other authority to stop the meeting stopped it, and then they never come back to it. And then after that, that's what I've heard, that person who was pushing for answers, okay, later on they outed him, and then everything went haywire. My God. Okay, so let's read here. Holy shit. So the Windsors made a secret deal with Rupert Murdoch and his organization in 2012 following the Levison inquiry into the far-reaching hacking and blagging operation of the British press. That deal involved the Windsors avoiding litigation against NGN and the exchange for an apology. Oh my lord. And then everybody else gets screwed. Okay, there's much more to the story, I'm sure, and it will be interesting to see how much of the story comes out in this case trial. So how did William end up getting this huge secret settlement? How did it stay quiet until now? How did Harry get access to this information? This is the thing that I was asking. How did he know? Did William try to convince him, or did William offer him portion of the payment? I don't know. Alright, because you know William didn't give it to him. There's that. Okay, I didn't even know about this. Okay, there's a photo of William in September 2021, the year after he received a secret settlement from NGN. And these photos, he was attending the Sons Who Cares Wins Award. He was showing up for a tabloid award event a year after he secretly settled with the same tabloid. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, let's go into that. Okay, the plot keeps thickening. Yeah. Okay, Charles replaced Diana to put Camilla in place. Charles' whole agenda is to protect his side piece. Charles is a horrible man, and William put the final nail in his mother's coffin. The tale of the two brothers. Wow, wow, wow. The citizens of England and the Commonwealth must insist accountability from monarchy and UK media. Yeah, they give these people too much power. They give them too much power and to abuse this like that. Very corrupt family, and yet they fed Harry to the wolves. That's the thing. Okay, the whole world is run by people who are being blackmailed. Why do you think everyone is paying homage to Zelensky? Huh, I never thought about that. Not really. Okay, let's see here. But the thing is that if you know what, let me not say, knock on wood, Trump don't get in power. Okay, you can make this up. There's that. Okay, so let's leave this alone. I think I read the good things on that. Let's move on. This video wasn't supposed to be that long. I'm already 35 minutes. Next tweet is a video. Okay, I was listening to this. It's very low, so when I'm editing, I'm gonna have to crank the volume up. Okay, so it's very low. This is why I rock with Sunny. She kept it 100% with country music artist song and his bigotry toward the Black Lives Matter movement. Okay, so let's listen. And like I said, I couldn't hear what she said.
Agree that he should be allowed to say whatever. Because as a lawyer, when I put my legal hat on, I don't believe in censorship. However, this man is from Macon, Georgia. My father's from Augusta, Georgia, and Macon, Georgia. I spent many summers there. Yeah, both. I spent many summers there. It's one of the most racist places in this country. So don't tell me that he knew nothing about what that imagery meant and what he. So I don't give him the benefit. I'm saying along with him, more people should also be. The other thing is that what was invoked for me, which was, you know, you're not going to get out of this town, are those sundown. Don't let the areas go down on your head. There were times when black people, my mother's in the audience today. Thank you for coming.
That's her mother. That's the first time I'm seeing her. Okay, her mother's white and I guess her father's black. Okay, but let's listen. As I'm recording it right now for you to see, I can't hear it.
And my mother and father, because they were an interracial couple, were run out of South Carolina by the KKK. And my father is still scarred from that experience, and you are still scarred from that experience. So we're all still scarred from that experience. So don't tell me that not only was he aware of what he was doing by using that imagery, he embraces that imagery. And unfortunately, this became the #1 song on US iTunes. We have a problem in this country about race, and the biggest problem is we refuse to admit that it exists. Well, don't you think?
Okay, so there was something that was going on regarding a country music. I'm assuming this is the same thing. Like I said, I didn't hear a thing. All I heard, this is my mom, this and that, and then the clap. But I saw a headline, but I didn't really read too much into it, and then I brushed it off. It was a country music that was very racist or something like that. Okay, so let me read what's there and then move on. Her and Whoopi are the reason why I watch The View. I read the lyrics of that song and it's disturbing. Okay, I don't listen to country music, but I see the imagery. Not cool. Okay, I love Sunny. These are 100% fact. Yeah, okay, that's it. Let's move on. Maybe when I'm editing, when I could hear it, perhaps I'll have something to say, but right now I don't have anything. Next tweet. Excellent piece by Brian Capecott, the same person who wrote that ByLine article that I just read. And this month ByLine Time, the gutter press gets much of its unjustified influence by being uncritically amplified and boosted by supposedly more serious news outlets and journalists who really should do better. Alright, so let's read this. Is it bigger? In a way, the shame of broadcast journalists should be the greatest. They were under no compulsion to follow the Sun and the Mail. They chose to. BBC News journalists may have felt a compulsion to cover the story properly, but they were wrong to give it the kind of space and attention usually afforded to a national calamity. So, while the Sun, with its gutter standard, covered us all, it does so because journalists at other news publishers allowed it to, and have been allowing it to for decades. As for our politicians, their serial cowardice is obvious and well documented. When Keir Starmer paid court to Rupert Murdoch at his annual summer party the other week, apparently ushered into his presence by the Sun journalist, he was lending importance and credibility to a person who has done more than any other than chipping the impoverished British life, and who continue to work every day through the sun and time. It is time that all of this stop. Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I could say is that maybe the young people could run for office and don't be, you know, don't be blackmailed. I don't know. One overspread articles and at ByLine Time is month about stories too good to check, and the crisis in British journalism. Okay, there is no incentive for them to do better in current environment. That is true when you think about it. But the thing is, yes, there is. Yes, there is. There is the incentive. If they care about their children's future to live in a less chaotic, blackmailing kind of environment, maybe they could do better. But they're passing it on. Their kids are already into that. Oh my God. All right, next tweet. This is about Spare. All right, so after I keep on seeing all those articles and tweets about celebrity, and I had in one of her of its post or its tweet, I raised my concern, and then next thing I was seeing is things about the Sussexes all of a sudden. So again, I have my suspicions about that account. Okay, again, I could be 1,000,000% wrong. I'm not telling anybody to do anything, the same way I was wrong about Mic Wright. Okay, so there, I'm telling you, I could be wrong. It's just my suspicions there. My suspicion. People are buying Prince Harry's Spare, reading it on vacation and leaving it behind. Okay, so there's celebrity. I'm not gonna click on it. All right, good. Let them go buy some more and perhaps maybe burn them. One person like it. Okay, I leave all my holiday books behind. Don't think that's news. All right, so there's that. And also, I feel like those tweets she keeps on putting out. Again, I keep on saying she. I don't know if she's the she. All right, those tweets that account keeps on putting out, I feel like is to what is it? That squirrel kind of thing to distract people from Den Wooten. Okay. I do it all the time, but I've it on Audible. Okay, she has it on Audible. Okay, most people don't read biographies, autobiographies more than once. Plus, when a book has sold that many copies, it's everywhere, so people also don't take it home to share with friends. Their friends already have it. Okay, if they leave it behind after they've read it, and holiday does not matter. What matters is that they bought it and read it. That's it. Okay. I have been downsizing my library at home following the passing of my late husband, and a vid reader like me, book are giving to our 2 libraries. Okay, there's that. Yep, I do the same all the time. You find a lot of hotels having little area to leave them. I left 3 in Turkey last week. I had finished. Okay, I always leave books I read while on vacation at the hotel or Airbnb where I stay. I always leave a note in the books asking the other guests to pass it on to the next person if they enjoy reading it. Okay, one of my favorite memories of a trip to Italy was staying at a villa that had a basket filled with books left behind for others. I had never read The Agony and the Ecstasy and found it a delightful companion to my tour of Florence and Rome. Great tradition for travelers. Okay, that's how you get the truth out. That's another point. Yeah, you get the truth out. All right, next tweet. Oh my God, this was supposed to be a quick thing. Now it's 1:19 p.m. Okay, this is my afternoon recording. Very rarely I do this type of recording. Okay, this is what happened when I have the computer, and I forgot I have another video to edit. I mean, I knew I had to edit it, but I forgot until I start recording this. Okay, Extreme Tinfoil hat theory is that studio have been juicing their streaming numbers, and they don't want to pay residuals on a ton of fake views. Okay, they could make as many excuses as possible, but if the numbers, whatever they have set up to find the views, or similar to how I say about my my YouTube account, where this is automatic, these pages I cannot edit them, okay, manually. They are automatic. Whatever it is that they set up, it's automatic. So if the numbers, whatever it is that they have set up, it's working, the numbers are changing, so just let it be. Sometimes people don't have time to watch. So what does that mean about for the other for the actors who don't get anything? Okay, just because the numbers are going high, because now more people are staying home watching TV, and all of a sudden they want to change the game on them. If this is what's going on, okay, they are in a ban. Admit to shareholders numbers are inflated, lose values, pay less residual, keep inflating numbers, shareholders happy, have to start paying creative more, oopsie. Rest of the bank job crew finding a hidden bag after diving up the score vibes. Okay, I suspect they also do it to falsify inflated to appeal offshore. I mean, I saw this come where a little bit before the pandemic, where people were into the streaming kind of services kind of thing. I saw this coming. A lot of things were happening, trying to change things, and you don't even see people going to the cinema anymore. Okay, they see an easier way. They make the movie. So okay, what I do not know how putting their work, the movies, into a movie where people goes and go watch the movie. Okay, I do not know how these things work, but they probably see the streaming one was the easiest way to making money, so they were trying to mess up something that was already good, instead of trying to maybe, okay, some people love to go to the movies. Okay, you have a date. What is it back then when you start get to know somebody? What was it? Movie and a dinner, right? Wasn't that the thing? All right, you go watch a movie and then you go eat, and you probably talk about that or something like that. So you could easily make money on both sides. But they saw maybe going to the movie was too expensive for them. I'm talking about the movie production people. Okay, again, this is purely my humble opinion. I have absolutely no clue how it works. Okay, how they make the money, how the process goes, I don't know. If I look, maybe I will know, but right now I do not know. So I'm just saying, okay, maybe because now they see, okay, I could just sit back, let the streaming roll the money in for me, so I don't have to do this part, that is going to the movies and things like that. So they're messing it up for them. This is what happens when people are greedy. It's almost the same thing where I say about politicians. They promise people so many good things, and then once they have it, they realize how they could undermine that and to packet it themselves. And this is the same thing. Different scenario, same tactic. You understand what I mean? Okay, rest of the bank job crew finding hidden bags after diving up the score vibes. I suspect they also do it to falsify, inflate. Okay, I read all of this, and I think this is because of the strike that's going on. In one of my videos, I had my tweet videos, I had the president of, is it SAG, was talking about why they protesting. They don't have a living wage. They don't, you know, it's not just the actors, there's the crew, the film people, you know, a whole bunch. What the group of people that makes the movie passable, pretty much the ones you will never know. Oh, maybe you will know when you read the credits at the end. All right, so all of these people are part of that, and they're taking away from those people. Just think about it. Okay, when you read when you watch a movie, at the end of the movie they put a whole list of names. Okay, these are the people. First they'll put the main characters first, and then you start seeing other names, this and that, the writers, the this, the this, the that. Okay, so these people are part of that, so they're undermining these people. Okay, so let's go to the next tweet. Okay, so now we are into a lighter note, and I post this on my community board, and I saw it and I added to it. Okay, Rick Hoffman's comment on his friendship with Meghan Markle. So, alright, quote, I was in a relationship that didn't work out, he explained. I had to go to a wedding in Paris, actually 5 years ago to this weekend. I was dateless, and Meghan was like, do you want me to come with you? I was like, yeah, that would be awesome. We had the producer schedule our time off, and Meghan and I had the best, most fun weekend. Rick Hoffman, brides.com. Okay, so there's that. Alright. Tell a story or how Meghan bought scone of cream. Okay, I have that video. I could show you this one. Okay, cream and jam and Starbucks to Sarah's house at 7:30 a.m. for her 2 daughters. Sarah just finished filming at 4:30 a.m. and her husband was out of town. Yeah, I have this. I'll show you that one.
It's fun. And also we're all in Toronto where we film the show, so we become a little family. So really I think we all sort of lean on each other. I don't have to balance 2 beautiful little girls like Sarah does, but she does it so well, and like I think we all just manage to support each other with whatever comes up.
I'll give you an example. I was working till 4:30 in the morning on a Friday night, and my husband was traveling for business, and on Saturday morning at 7:30, right about 20 minutes after the kids woke up, my front doorbell rings, and it's Megan with scones and Starbucks. And we turned on cartoons, and the girls were like, what is this amazing thing called a scone? And we let them eat them in bed and get crumbs everywhere. And it was just exactly what I needed, you know, off in Toronto, and really, really delirious morning to have my friend show up and save me.
How would I not do it? I mean, we're about to start filming season 4, and so I think, you know, we're just so grateful that people have responded so well to the show, that you know, if we're lucky enough to have 5, 6, 7 seasons, that these friendships that you see us develop on camera are really a reflection of how well we all get along off camera.
Yes, I think I may have posted it before. Okay, there's me, somebody here. That's what friends are for. Okay, so, oh, there's more. Okay, and Patrick Adams. Okay, let me read what's at the bottom, and I'll go into this, and then I'll go to the next tweet. Okay, the people who knows Megan have only nice things to say on how she has impacted their lives. Okay, so this must have been the tweet that Patrick Adams wrote. I could never find it again. I searched for it, but I can't see it. Okay, it's sickened me to read the endless racist, slanderous, clickbaiting, virtual spewed in her direction from all manner of media across the UK and the world. But I also know that Megan was stronger than people realized or understood, and they will regret underestimating her. And then they welcome Archie, and on any sort decent planet, that will be a time to stop sharpening the knives and let these 2 people enjoy the magical early months and years of starting a family. But we don't live on that planet, and instead the hunt continues. Okay, the obscene that the royal family, whose newest member is currently growing inside of her, is promoting and amplifying accusation of bullying against a woman who herself was basically forced to flee the UK in order to protect her family and her own mental health. I'm telling you right now, these people are abusing that mental health thing. They do their nonsense, and when people start screaming at them, and they call themselves they're having mental breakdown kind of thing. All right, Meghan Markle and I spent the better part of our decade working together on Suit. From day one, she was an enthusiastic, kind, cooperative, giving, joy, and supportive member of our television family. She remained that person and colleague as fame, prestige, and power accrued. Okay, it's obscene that the royal family, whose newest member is currently, okay, I just read that, promoting, okay, I've just read that in the previous page, find someone else to admonish, berate, and torment. My friend Megan is way out of your league. That's definitely is. Yeah, I read that original tweet a while back. Okay, the entire thing. I think this one is missing couple because it was very long. All right, next tweet. Okay, Fab4. I shared this couple days ago. More than blood, Ignacio is the best friend a guy could ask for. Okay, and this morning's recording, part 1, he came out to put a stop to the nonsense that page 6 was written, that there's problem with Harry and Meghan's marriage, and he came out and just said BS. All right, and then that was it. They took it down because everybody was saying, what is it, the squirrel kind of thing, trying to distract people.
You desired squirrel.
Okay, Nacho and Harry are no longer friends. Oh, please. Okay, laughing man, who told you? Look at this, a squirrel. A squirrel is his profile. Okay, that's just distraction. No way. What is it? They're gonna have polo. Did it start already? I haven't come across anything. They should be having polo matches by now. Okay, love this couple. Never forget Nacho and his wife were there as a support for Harry and Meghan from day one. That is family. Yeah, and when you look at some of the pictures they show us at their wedding, just look at the background of those images, the faces of the friends that they have, it's like they were so happy for them. They can't believe they made it this far. So they knew their struggle, their hardship, everything that they went through. So they were so happy for them. Okay, well said, exactly. Fab 4. All right, so let's go to the next tweet. Okay, and this is my last one. Okay, and then I ask my son if he wants to go out. Okay, this is that Vanessa, she's crazy. Pure squatty. Okay, lock me up. There's the laugh. I just found out that talking to yourself and making up scenarios in your head is a sign of mental illness. Baby, I be acting out interviews, acceptance speeches, etc. I'm too far gone. And then that she's saying, lock me up. I mean, when you're thinking, what is it? You're pretty much talking to yourself. That's what thinking is. Thinking, you're talking to yourself. Nobody have to hear you because you're saying it to yourself. Okay, you mean it's normal? I have different lives. I live in my head and one I'm single. Okay, sound perfectly normal to me. Okay, I'll be your cellmate. Okay, the squad is saying you might as well. Because they talk to themselves. Hey Wumi, there's that. Okay, I'm a lawyer in the shower. Oh my god, the squad starts saying all sort of things. I'm a lawyer in the shower. Me too, my closing argument are on fire. Oh my god, throw away the key. I've already had conversation with my about what I'm doing the rest of the year. Okay, that's a productive convo. Talking to yourself. Facts is, I've relived my 8th talent show with many scenarios and I'm better singing. I hope one of them include you receiving a standing ovation. This is what I mean. The squad don't need Harry and Meghan to come out with anything to talk about. They create their own conversation. Okay, then we all got problems, honey. There's this commercial. I'm done. All right, yeah, I do this all the time. Oh dear, there's the laugh. Well, I need to get this GIF out of the way. Let me pause it because each time it moves. Okay, tears coming out of my eyes. Well, I guess there's this here. Okay, me too, laughing my ass off. Okay, there's no hope for me then because I laugh out loud at my own thoughts. Oh my god. Okay, because I laugh out loud at my own thoughts too, sometimes in public. Oh my god, those squad are crazy. There's okay, that's it. Okay, at least I leave you in something on a good note. Let's do a prayer. I can even prayer for what? Prayer. Okay, good. I don't know. Good prosperity. I don't know. That's all. Prosperity. Almighty, everlasting God, so many ask for wealth for its own sake. Their reward is in the money itself. Mammon is their only God. I ask you. Okay, let's go into it. I think I read this once. Okay, so we'll use this. Okay. All-powerful Father, you are the font of all goodness and righteousness. Through you, even the lilies of the field are adorned and prosper. You have created me in your image. Let your gift abundantly fill my cup until it overflows. Bless me with the riches of righteousness and the prosperity of faith, so that my treasure will be stored up in heaven. Amen. Okay, so this is the image I will use on my thumbnails. Lately I've been lazy to create thumbnails. Okay, prayer for abundance and prosperity. All-powerful Father, you are the font of all goodness and righteousness. Through you, even the lilies of the field are adorned and prosper. You have created me in your image. Let your gift abundantly fill my cup until it overflows. Bless me with the riches of the righteousness and the prosperity of faith, so that my treasure will be stored upon in heaven. Amen. Okay, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that's it.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better